Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully, and welcome back to the Kingdom Hearts commentary, where we're on for more adventures, where we go on hunting for gorillas in typical 1920s literature fashion, because Africa was unexplored apparently to the evils of the white man. Insert political refuse here, but that has nothing to do with the gang, because we're fighting Sabor, who's a tiger, and is just kind of... well, she's more of a nuisance here more than anything else. Like, she comes in, tries to attack Sora and Tarzan because, I guess they're enemies, and Sabor associates Sora with Tarzan. Oh yeah, ride that pole, bitch. But again, that's just me being silly. On a serious note though, Sabor does kind of have, like, sporadic appearances here and there. Again, she'll try and attack you, but... again, she's kind of easily defeated, and again, to point out a bit of trivia beforehand, back in the treehouse, I believe... similar to the situation with Squall Leonhardt, again, you can have her attack Sora, and again, if she wins, then Tarzan will come and save you, but otherwise, if Sora wins, then, well, she'll try and attack him, but then Tarzan will come and save him anyway, so, yeah, the choice between choice and choicelessness, a free will versus fate, that can only be achieved through an act of surrender. But, yeah, whatever, that's enough metaphysical shit for the time being. In the meantime, we need to go through a, well, treasure chesty minigame. And that's pretty much all this little segment offers, this little hippo lagoon, or whatever kind of thing. Like, I mean, in a similar vein to Crash Bandicoot 2, the hippos will raise and lower, and you need to use them as solid platforms and, well, avoid them lowering, because they're proximity triggered, apparently. Again, like, I mean, Kingdom Hearts 1 has very rudimentary platforming mechanics, but, again, they're no more advanced than jump on the thing at the right time and make sure that you don't land on the thing at the wrong time. So again, like, you're not going to be getting anything advanced here, it's just rudimentary platforming. Again, some people say that they also miss this, but I mean, at the same time, it's so fucking basic that you really wonder why people are complaining, and again, this is also showing the limitations of environments. You're really not meant to be seeing above the walls, but again, you have a high enough jump to see what you're not meant to see. Thus, Sora begins to realize that he is in the Matrix, and if it was owned by Disney, that would indeed be the case, except not, because Disney doesn't own Warner Brothers. Yet. And also The Matrix 4 should be coming out sometime in this year, so I guess the jury's still out on that. But we'll wait and see.
Kerchak, please listen to me. I know the nesting grounds are secret, but I trust them. You see, I want to help them, because, well, they need us.
Oh, did you get that?
No!
Kerchak! Kerchak.
And I suppose to kind of point out the obvious here, no, that is not Tarzan speaking perfect English. No, that is instead him speaking gorilla, which is why he's much more coherent than he is to the main characters. Although, to kind of delve a little bit into the interesting trivia, at least in regards to the books, Tarzan was apparently fluent in English, and I believe quite a few languages, according to the book continuity, so... yeah, I guess that was one of the few interesting changes the Disney version had from the official one. Don't really know why, but again, I guess Disney had their reasons, since Tarzan was not only a movie, but also an animated series, akin to Aladdin and Hercules, really, so... yeah. This is also another minigame that I didn't actually complete until the very end of the game, because I didn't know what it was meant to be. In fact, I didn't even realize this was a minigame until I checked Jiminy's journal right at the end, but... yeah, this is pretty much the vine swinging minigame. I'm only talking about it here because I pretty much skip it at the end of the game, because it's basically the same thing as this, but it's pretty much a time trial mode of getting from one end to the other, so... yeah, not really worth talking about. But again, it is very rudimentary, like, you pretty much just jump onto a vine, pretty much jump to the next vine, and don't jump off manually, because otherwise you might risk falling off, which basically resets your position to right down in the Hippo Lagoon, which means you gotta jump to the right position to get it right again, so it's not worth it. Like that, really. You're going right back to that segment, And again, it's a bit of a pain in the ass, so basically just use the reaction command kind of thing, or I suppose if you're playing the PS2 version, select the bottom command, and you'll pretty much auto-lock onto the vine and just swing on it that way. Again, this is pretty much your way of quickly traversing two specific areas. I believe you can get back to the treehouse from here, or at least if not that, then you can pretty much get back to the little nexus area, you know, where there's that giant tree and a bunch of corrupted plants. So again, you do have a means of fast travel throughout this area, which again, if you're skilled enough, can provide a means of decent traversal. It's just more so looking through this archaic, vine-swinging shit that kind of holds you back, really. Again, if you're a little bit too trigger-happy, then you probably won't make it. But at the same time, though, again, I guess this is what the developers wanted to include for the sake of going, oh, it's a Tarzan thing. What does Tarzan thing do? Jump on vines, 'cause the jungle with the primal people and the primitives and the apes and the Sora, who was supposed to be in the loincloth with the Donald and Goofy and isn't allowed because pedophilia. But on a serious note though, this is pretty much the way you're going to be traversing through areas, and that does get annoying when you fall off constantly. I probably should have edited, but I ain't give a fuck enough to do that, so I'm gonna keep commentating. Yeah, it's pretty much just a bit of a tedious jump, and again, like, these two areas, again, you saw the other one at the end, which leads you to a secondary vine area. Again, they don't lead you to the exact same thing each and every time, it's pretty much just different courses. I guess this is meant to be the easier course, whereas the other one's meant to be more advanced, but yeah, your momentum and the way in which you interpret the vines, you know, in terms of targeting them and how close they are to you, depending on whether or not you've swung on them and, you know, they're close to your reach, will play a factor. Again, it's probably not as think tank as I'm kind of describing them as right now, but yeah, it does play a factor into whether or not you're going to be reaching a specific vine or not, but yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a weird minigame that they included for the sake of 100% completion, but, you know, excuse me. I'm not really complaining, it's just there, really. And again, you don't get to access the minigame, I believe, until you complete the world, but yeah, it's, like, I mean, unless, of course, you're going for 100% completion, or at the very least to unlock the complete secret movie, then I don't think it's really worth much of anything. And even then, I think that's also dependent on whether or not you have the Final Mix version, so that, yeah, I wouldn't really worry about it. This is pretty much how you access the secondary area, via the transitional state kind of thing where the characters walk through, because the PS2 wasn't powerful enough to render large areas compared to Kingdom Hearts 3 with its advanced power of the PlayStation 4, PC, as it's been recently ported to, and the Xbox One. So, whatever, really. This is pretty much Sora does jungle things. As I believe I'll title the part unless I can think of something a little bit more tantalizing. Possibly Clayton commits suicide, but that's the only hint I'll give you for the next couple of minutes in this 14-minute part and something whatever seconds. Again, at this stage, I'm pretty much just exploring the environment to, you know, see what sort of treasure chests are around and see if I miss anything. I mean, I do have a cleanup video planned right towards the end of the commentary, just to kind of get everything sort of wrapped up, showing you a few synthesis spots, and, you know, showing you a few white mushroom locations, or at least not ones that I show midway across the thing, but yeah, this is pretty much just a general run through of the level, then we save all the boring shit for the end, unless of course you're one inclined for completionist kind of things, which I don't really bother with anyway, except for Kingdom Hearts and Devil May Cry and Sonic, because I'm an obsessive fanboy and I've wasted my life, so fuck it, why not? For the 10 to 20 people that watch these videos, boo-hoo, a boo-hoo-hoo, a boo-hoo-hoo, crying Solidus-Skully who wasted his life. Whatevers! Again, this is the nexus I was talking about. You're meant to use freeze, which awakens the plants. But I don't think we really need to use them right now. So, yeah, let's waste time right now, because I don't know what order I did things. Again, to kind of go back on a certain point I went into in Wonderland, when it comes to the Kingdom Hearts commentary throughout a lot of this, again, I do generally know what I need to do, but at the same time, my memory was a little bit foggy to the sense that, okay, I know what I need to do, but what order do I need to do it in? That's kind of what fucked me up throughout this playthrough, and again, if I was doing it now, at the very least in terms of how the commentary and playthrough is fresh in my head, I definitely would have fixed that, but again, at this point, I was fairly experienced in Kingdom Hearts, don't get me wrong, but I just didn't quite have the intimate knowledge that would have required me to, you know, play this with as much precision as I in fact would have had I, you know, just done a complete playthrough and, you know, did things as of now.
What's the big idea?
Wait, Kerchak! Please!
You don't understand. I was only trying to. Ah, a snake slithered by. You see, I saved that poor gorilla's life.
That's some flat-out bullshit, you fucking bitch! And Tarzan is sad. But yeah, we've defeated Clayton's attempts to assassinate Rosie O'Donnell. Oh no, she's gonna go on to have a shitty comedian career and possibly be racist or some shit, or whatever the fuck the Roseanne fucking shit was about a couple of years ago. I don't fucking remember, because people get angry at all sorts of shit these days. I don't give a fuck. It's whatever. But anyway, this is pretty much Clayton getting ousted by the Jane and the Tarzan and the jungle Sora and the animals that are fucking accompanying us, or whatever the fuck. So yeah, happy, joy, I suppose. But now we're Trinity, because I'm pretty much getting blue Trinities, even though I said I was going to save them to the end. And again, it is still going to ring true, but I mean, if I find them along the way, I'm still going to get them, because, you know, convenience. But again, I'm a bit inconsistent with that, which I do apologize for, you know, people that I misled. But anyway, regardless of such, I think you're beginning to see what Kingdom Hearts, at least in terms of regular level structurally, is going to be about. Like, I mean, you go to specific level segments, you trigger cutscenes, fight specific Heartless and bosses, and, you know, just sort of do that. Except for occasional minigames like this. Jungle Slider is a bit of a unique entity in the sense that, again, you do use this to transition between, you know, the main sort of hub area that you saw before, with a bit of a, you know, transitionary segment to traverse around other parts of the jungle. Again, when we get to the actual minigame in question, which, you know, requires to go through several tiers of this, yeah, you will transition to different areas of the jungle. You won't just go to the jungle tent, you'll go to, you know, the treehouse, you'll go to the little area, which is where one of the boss fights goes. Again, like, I mean, there's a lot of things to consider in regards to this. But of course, it is, of course, with the general fun of sliding around, but regardless of such, yeah, despite the Sabor boss fight where we pretty much kick our ass every which way in Sunday, I'm Solidus-Skully, keep it new metal, and I'll see you next time for the Kingdom Hearts commentary where Clayton apparently commits suicide at the end of this. See you later.
How could you do such a thing?
Now, Miss Porter, as I told you, I was not aiming at the gorilla.
You are not to go near the gorillas again.
Oh, because of one mishap. Come now. Huh? What am I doing with these imbeciles? Blasted gorillas! I'll hunt down every last one of them! I'll track them down somehow. I'll stake my life on it. Hmm?